Welcome back, everybody. New this morning, President Barack Obama is Time Magazine's 2012 Person of the Year. A little bit of deja vu. You might be thinking, wasn't he Person of the Year before? Yes, in 2008. Michael Scherer is the White House correspondent for Time Magazine. He wrote that cover story as well. Michael, good morning. Nice to see you. I gotta tell you, I thought Malala Yousafzai was going to be it. Why the president? I know she was the first runner-up. Why did you think the president would win the honor finally?
Well, again, I mean, he won in 2008 because of the promise of change and because of the election he'd just run. He wins or he is Person of the Year in 2012 because of the change he has wrought to the electorate, changing, really creating a new governing coalition now that we know is actually a real thing. It was not just a passing phase in 2008, for changing the way we run campaigns. Campaigns will never be the same. The idea of a grassroots campaign is now very different than when Obama first arrived on the scene, and really changing the whole policy direction of the country and the national policy conversation. There was a real question over whether the American people were happy with what he did in the first 4 years. It's clear now that a majority of the country was. And clearly the election has already had a significant impact on the conversations we're having here in Washington. It's now a certainty, for instance, that taxes are going to go up on the wealthiest Americans in some form in the near future. Had he not won, that just wouldn't have been the case.
Oh, that's so interesting, because it sounds like you're saying he won because of literally the logistics of the election, you know, kind of how that was rolled out versus something, I think in 2008 it was much more sort of a symbol of where America is at this point.
Yeah, I would just say there are a lot of logistics involved in that, but the key here is that he was at the center of it. I mean, if you talk to both Democrats and Republicans about how this race unfolded, they will both tell you that the defining fact of this race from the beginning was there weren't that many people. There were a lot of Americans who were unhappy with what had happened over the last 4 years, were disappointed in the president's performance, but there weren't that many Americans who didn't trust him. And so this election ended up being run about him. The grassroots outreach, the people who turned out to the polls, they were turning out for him. A different name at the top of the ballot would have had a different result. So it's not as if just sort of the math and the computer programs did this. And I think, you know, one of the questions going forward is whether the next president or the next nominee for the Democratic Party will be able to continue this coalition. It's really not certain at all right now.